Hello and welcome to the podcast From Stress to Success Blueprint. I am your host, Lolita, and today's episode 102nd. For those who are returning, thank you so much. I'm very grateful that you taking the time and energy to come and see me again. And for those who are tuning in the first time, well, welcome as well. I hope you will be back. Okay, so we are continuing the conversation about different stresses and relationships and how to deal with them. So, if you listen to the previous episodes, I was talking a lot about, different issues and stresses that can happen in relationships. And mind you, any relationship, it could be a friendship or a neighbors, coworkers, friends, not necessarily only intimate partners or spouses or significant others. It also could be a business partner, anyone that you're having a relationship um, more than just on the level that you just saw somebody on the street or you just wave to them once in a while. That's not a relationship thing. But someone that you care about and they make an influence in your life, I think that's some sort of relationship. Okay. So in the previous episodes, I was telling you that it is very important to have a communication open, make sure you both understand each other, make sure you vocalize your needs. That's how you can, get rid of a bunch of conflicts and stop worry about the future. Now, here is the problem. If one or both people stress about inflicting conflict and not open at all in any communication, there has to do about resolution of that conflict and stress and the potential worries. So, what is that you do with that? First, let's address the issue why there are people who don't like conflicts. Well, first of all, I think we all don't like being in a conflicting situation because, well, of survival. We don't want anybody, to be hurt and be displeased with us. So, other than, if we will make them unhappy, then hence we'll be excluded from the group, hence we will die. That's really the way our brain works because we are herd animals. We love belonging to groups. And I touched on that quite a few episodes before, so I don't want to bore those who are constantly listening in. Um, so that could be one reason that somebody just doesn't want to upset you. So for them, not going to conflict is better, than just going there and then being upset. And so they have a tendency of sitting in a comfortable situation and in a stressful situation and still not talking about it and not even bringing up to this. It could be confusing. And of course, when you don't even know that other person is not bringing to the table the concerns and the stresses, um, you don't know about that. So you think everything is fine. And that's definitely building a resentment. So when the other person, comes into a room and just blows up, it could be that they're already holding on to that for a very long time. Just had not enough guts to actually come and say what it is. That could be multiple reasons. Let's say someone is grow up in the environment where their needs will not matter, and how they felt did not matter. Even could be worse that they never got an opportunity to feel really, because feelings was, they were a very bad thing, and nobody allowed them to express themselves freely. Maybe they were such a people pleasers that they realized that the best safe place to be in the family is when they're doing what somebody else wants them to do. Hence, they cannot even find their own authenticity because, well, they never had time or chance to actually explore that. So it could be that now they're adults and they know that something feels off, but they really cannot really point it out what's happening with them. So when you tell them, I want you to talk about what stresses you out, they're like, I don't even know what to tell you. Just feels off. That's it. So someone like that, and it could be you. You just feel that way. You're like, I don't even know. It's whatever. How does that you start? You start with allowing yourself to be authentic you, honoring your own feelings, and seeing where you are. And when you know where you are, then you know what direction you need to move, and then take action. So if you have someone that you may think that there is some things off in the relationship, or they're stressing about something, but they're not telling you about it, it's a great idea to approach them and say, hey, I have a feeling that if something's bothering you, it's okay, you're safe, you just can tell me, just tell me what's bothering me. I would love to talk about that because our relationship is very important to me, and then see what it says. Or there is something that you want to talk about, and you may be kind of afraid that maybe the other person will not take it right. So then start a conversation of saying, we're kind of like coming from your place and you're talking about your feelings. And you say, some there's something that I want to talk about that makes me feel like you don't appreciate me, or that makes me feel that you totally disregard my opinion about this issue, and probably that's not what it is. Maybe I just take it that way, and this just looks to me like this. Is it true? Or, what do you think? Is this is what you meant when you say that? And if the other person says, well, I don't really want to talk about it, then you can introduce an idea of, well, if we're not gonna talk about it, then we will grow resentment, and that will not benefit our relationship. And I really value our relationship so much that I want us to continue for this relationship for the non-foreseeable future. So maybe there are ways. What is the best way, the safe way that you feel comfortable when approaching this issue? And of course, again, it has to come from empathy, because the other person may not be even capable of that situation of facing the conflicts or talking about that. You also can ask them, do they want to talk about with somebody else? Maybe they need to ask for help, for a coach, for a therapist, or a friend. You also can write them a letter. And so that will be an easier way how to talk about that. If, let's say, you just start talking to them and they just like run off from the room, like you already know this is not going to go anywhere, you can write them a letter, what you want to tell them, but also very nicely way, and say, hey, this is what it is, and not take it way too personally. And it could be that's you, and maybe that's the way how you can approach your conflicts. But also, if you want the person, one of the a person in that relationship that you just hate conflict, you hate talking about your own feelings, because you might be grew up in that kind of environment where you're not allowed to do that. Start a list. Just brainstorm, sit and think about it. What are the situations that you don't feel comfortable in approaching? And then you can write it down. What are specific, maybe people that trigger you specific conflicts? Maybe some people you like talking with them and you're okay talking with the conflict about conflict in situations, for some of them not. So then look at that each person and try to see how is that relates to your childhood experiences. Because it could be that maybe that specific person that is in your life right now is really reminding you somehow about the person from your childhood. So you might be thinking, I am afraid of this person. They intimidate me, so I'm not even going to talk about it. So when you realize what's the issue about is that person that you cannot talk or open yourself up, then you will know where to go with that. So if you're still watching, if you found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, if you have not yet. And if you need more help with that, or with getting more clear and making a list, or just kind of bounce ideas, or come up with a clear action step plan, I am here to help you. So you're welcome to go to my website, beamazingyou.com, and of course it's all in the description below, and book a session with me. I offer now a special for 30-minute session for those who don't have time. There's a lot of time for 30-minute session that we can cover up. So I hope to see you in the next episode. And if you have any question or suggestion, I will be very happy to read it in the comments below. Until the next time.